Shalom. Shalom is Brother Yaikwa by the Great Millstone Atlanta Church. I want to give all praises, worship, glory, and honor to His preeminence, His majesty, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles. Double honors to those who have what and do well, overseeing the tabernacle of David. Of course, starting from Prophet Abba Bivens on down to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim. Greetings and salutations to you, Akim, pushing his word in truth and sincerity, all right, which are the 144K, hopefully elect that did not delay, all right? So I'm going to jump right into this thing. This is a Hebrew edification, all right, dealing with the book of Proverbs, the 27th chapter, both the 11th and the 12th verse. So as you see here, and as always, I'm gonna go through the English and then battle with the Hebrew and break it down. So on the top part we have the Paleo Hebrew, Lashawan Kodash, and on the bottom we have the Assyrian text, both translated diligently and at detail for the edification of the sincere laborers. All right. And I would most definitely like to also note that, along with, dissecting the Hebrew of it, really, absorb what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is saying as well, because these are some very profound scriptures that the Spirit put upon me to break down. Very beautiful, very uplifting, and very educating scriptures, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So let's go into the English, the King James, read it out, and then we're going to go to the Hebrew. All right, so this is the book of Proverbs, the 27th chapter, in the 11th verse. It says, "My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth thee." All right. And so when we exercise wisdom, that which is having the fear of the Lord and keeping his commandments, loving our brother as we love ourselves, so on and so forth, that makes the Lord glad. That makes him proud of us, man. All right. So let's see. This is the Paleo. I'm going to read it through and then I'm going to dissect it. It says, "Chakam banya wa shemach al-abya wa ashayapa charabya dabar." All right. So chakam meaning wise. All right. Banya, ban meaning son. Ya means my. Banya, my son, or son my. All right. Wa shemach, and glad. La'ab la'ab heart, or which basically is a term for your mind. Ya my, la'ab ya, and glad my heart, and make my heart glad, to properly translate it. It says wa ashayaba. All right, now that ashayab, that wa meaning basically and, that I, when that I is put in front of a word, it signifies a. Okay, not a, I, excuse me. So for instance, like it comes from the word anya, which means I. Like ahab anya atha, meaning I love you. You see, for an example. So it says wa ashayaba. Now, then when you put, like I said, when you put that ah in front of the word, the root word, it makes the terminology I. Okay. All right. So, excuse me. So the root word right here is shayab. All right, now the word is actually shawab. All right, which means to answer or or basically, as it said in the King James, well, it says answer in the King James, but it also is basically means to return. Like another term for repent is shawab, you know, in the Hebrew. So, but why does it say Yah? Because that's signifying the tense that this word is in. Okay. So you see, it says, I may answer. All right. So that may actually comes from that Yah. That Yah being interchanged with that Wah, it changed the context to I may answer. So it's a future tense. So it says Wa Ashayaba. All right. Charabya. All right. And the term charab means reproach or defy. All right. And I remember that, you know, and it's certain ways you certain things you utilize to memorize and understand the Hebrew language. So I know in the Hebrew, the word, it sounds kind of like corrupt. Charab and corrupt kind of sounds similar. So I know if I kind of, and that term corrupt actually kind of goes along with reproach and defy to a certain extent. So it helps me remember in that tense, or excuse me, in that manner. So charab ya, charab ya. All right. So Reese says, Wa ashayaba charabya. That I may answer. Then charabya, defy or reproach. Reproach my, that Yah is mine, that reproach my debar, word. Now it doesn't say word in the King James, but that's what it says in the Hebrew. All right, so that because that term debar means word. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next verse, which is verse 12. It says, a prudent man, and see, and another thing, you know, to take note, when you see these words in italics, that's not actually there in the Hebrew. It's a fill-in, because in order to translate from the Hebrew is a much more simplistic language than the English. All right, so in order to fill in, they have certain words like these, but in order for you to understand it and for it to make sense, being written in English, you know. So it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And I'm gonna go ahead and have to break this down a tad bit, because we're in times of evil, man. All right. So it's gonna come necessary situations where what? We have to be as the Apostle Gabar says, serpents, dragons. And yes, the serpent is a powerful animal. It's a deadly animal. But it doesn't strike until it needs to. A serpent could kill you, but it will prefer to slither away through the crevices away from you without even being noticed. All right? And that is what? That is prudence. That is wisdom. All right? And we're going to have to exercise those qualities, all right, according to how the Spirit grants us the understanding, all right, in these coming hours. Because brothers are going to be put in different situations, different circumstances where they're going to have to act accordingly, you know. But that's why it tells you that wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, all right, and that's according to the Spirit. All right. According to the book of John, the 6th chapter, the 63rd verse, it says, it's the spirit that quickeneth. It says, the flesh profiteth nothing. It says, the words that I speak unto thee. All right. And see, what did it say? Reproach my word. That word is important. It says, the words that I speak unto thee, they are spirit and they are life. So if you reproach the Lord's word, you're dead while you liveth, man. All right. Okay. So let me well we did that. We read verse 12, so let's break it down. Okay. And I mean, brothers can see it in the paleo, but what I want to do to diversify the lesson for edification's sake, this is verse 12 in the paleo. I'm going to break it down in the Assyrian. Okay, so if a brother wanted to, you can take a screenshot of this and you can go through it, slowly, and break it down yourself. But what I'm going to do also just to familiarize brothers with the Syrian, or brothers just wanting to, go through the Syrian again. A lot of brothers are familiar with the Syrian. I'm gonna go through it in the Syrian just for balance sake. All right. So this is verse 12. It says, Irawam Ra'ai Na Satar Pathayam Ibarwa Na Ainashwa. All right. So it says, it says Irawam, which is the prudent, which is the same Hebrew word for naked in Genesis. I believe when speaking about they were naked, the scripture says, I believe it was Adam and Eve, it was chapter 2. It says they were naked and not ashamed. That same Hebrew word for naked was irawam, which means prudent. All right, wise, crafty. Okay, likewise, it's the same Hebrew word when I believe it's Genesis the 3rd chapter, or possibly might be the 4th chapter, at the top when it says now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. That term for more subtle was what? Irawam, which means prudent, crafty. All right. So, and the serpent was a wise individual. He was very wise. Okay. That's why when the apostles talk about being a master at wisdom, what is the level of mastery? The owl and the dragon. And that a dragon is a serpent. It's a magnified serpent. All right. And it's being able to understand both sides, good and evil. But what makes you a master on the right-hand side is to understand good and evil, but exercise the good. The serpent understood good and evil, but he exercised evil. All right, which limited him, and ultimately led to his destruction. All right. So let's break it down. So Arawam, prudent. So basically, as it says in English, prudent man, Arawam, prudent, which basically when reading it in the Hebrew, you will know it's talking about a man. It says Arawam, prudent man, basically, a prudent. Ra'ai, evil. Na satar, derived from the Hebrew, the root word satar, which means hide. That na in the front makes it signifies that hideth, like in the in that context, in that tense. So let's see. It says pata'ayam, which is simple. Pata'ah is simple. That yam is plural. So basically like the simple people or the simple ones. The simple. Ibar means pass, which is where the word Ibaria, that term Hebrew, comes from. Ibar, pass on. Ibar wa, which that wa is meaning he or they. It can be interchangeable. He or they. Now, wa really means he, but a lot of times when the scriptures, they'll have wa as well when it's signifying they. And how do we know that? Because patharium is plural, but they have wa right here. Also in the book of Genesis, when it speaks of Alahayim, it, in certain contexts, it'll say why, or it'll say he, why, but we know that it's actually talking about they because Alahayim is plural, if you can receive it. So it says na nashwa, and it's punished. So remember what I said, that na in the front, it signifies what? Past tense. So what? Hideth, na satar, hideth. And then what? Again, na nashwa, punished. All right. And then why in the end, again, meaning he or they.